Getting closer. Ukraine and Russia agreed to more of Trump's peace plan. What's left? And is another Trump-Putin meeting in the cards? Plus, new fallout from that illegal orders video. One Democrat says she fears for her family. Now the FBI wants to question all 6. And a firing frenzy that wasn't. The White House swats down rumors Kash Patel is out, even snapping a photo to prove it. The stories that matter, clear and credible. From across the country to around the world, these are your unbiased updates from Straight Arrow News. Good morning, I'm Craig DeGrelli. This morning, news signs the Russia-Ukraine war could be closing in on a peace deal. Multiple news outlets report Ukraine has mostly agreed to President Trump's plan, with only a few details left to hammer out. U.S. officials tell NBC and CBS that Ukrainian negotiators have signed on to the broad outlines of the agreement, with minor points still being finalized. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky told European allies Tuesday he's ready to move ahead, but wants their support as talks enter the final stretch.
And I'm ready to meet with President Trump. And there are sensitive points to discuss. We have them still. And we think that the presence of European leaders could be helpful.
President Trump also sounded optimistic, writing on Truth Social that the original 28-point peace plan drafted by the U.S. has been fine-tuned with additional input from both sides, and that only a few disagreements remain. He says Special Envoy Steve Witkoff will travel to Moscow to meet with Vladimir Putin, and Army Secretary Dan Driscoll will meet with Ukrainians to finish the work. Trump says he won't meet with Putin or Zelensky until the deal is done or in its final stages. When asked about his earlier hope to seal a deal by Thanksgiving, Trump said this on Air Force One.
No, I don't have a deadline. You know what the deadline for me is? When it's over. And I think everybody's tired of fighting at this moment. They're losing too many people.
Trump also said Witkoff could meet Putin next week and that his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, might join them. It is still unclear when Driscoll will sit down with Ukrainian officials next. This morning, the fallout is deepening after the FBI confirms it has opened an inquiry into the 6 Democratic lawmakers who appeared in that controversial video telling U.S. troops they can and should refuse illegal orders. Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin, who organized the video, says the Bureau's Counterterrorism Division notified the group on Monday night.
The Counterterrorism Division at the FBI sent a note to the members of Congress saying they are opening what appears to be an inquiry against the 6 of us. To be honest, the president's reaction and the use of the FBI against us is exactly why we made the video. He believes in using the federal government against his perceived adversaries.
The 6 Democrats, all military or intelligence veterans, say they are now being targeted after President Trump called their actions seditious and suggested on Truth Social their behavior could be, quote, punishable by death.
The minute I saw the president said they should be hanged, and in effect, I knew that our security situation was going to change precipitously. Obviously, I'm worried about my family. I'm worried about my staff. You know, I've served 3 tours in Iraq. I've done dangerous things. I signed up for this, but my family didn't. My nieces and nephews didn't.
The group issued a joint statement saying President Trump is using the FBI as a tool to intimidate and harass members of Congress. No amount of intimidation or harassment will ever stop us from doing our jobs and honoring our Constitution. The video at the center of the firestorm posted last week reminded service members that U.S. law requires them to refuse any order that's illegal. Slotkin later told ABC News she is not aware of Trump issuing any illegal orders. But the White House says the video itself was reckless and potentially harmful to the chain of command. Separately, Arizona Senator Mark Kelly is facing a Pentagon review for his role in that same video. Kelly is the only one of the 6 who can be subject to the Uniform Code of Military Justice because he's a retired Navy officer. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has formally asked the Navy for a briefing by December 10th on whether Kelly should be recalled to active duty and possibly face a court-martial. The White House is swatting down a report that President Trump is looking to oust FBI Director Kash Patel, calling the story, quote, completely made up. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt posted this photo late Tuesday, saying the article dropped while she was in the Oval Office in a meeting with the president, Patel, and Trump's law enforcement team. It was included in a post on X where she says she read the headline out loud. Trump laughed and said, "What? That's totally false. Come on, Kash, let's take a picture to show them you're doing a great job." The denial comes after MS Now reported that Trump and top aides have grown frustrated with Patel over controversies ranging from his girlfriend's security detail to use of a government jet, and they were considering firing him. That report also said the president was eyeing senior bureau official Andrew Bailey as a possible replacement. But just hours after that story posted, Patel was front and center at the White House turkey pardon, where the president praised him publicly, saying he's very busy doing a great job. And Trump was asked by reporters on Air Force One on Tuesday about Patel. Here's what he had to say.
No, he's doing a good job. Kash Patel? No, he's doing a great job, I think.
Less than a week after Congress voted to release the Epstein files, a federal judge just turned up the heat on how we got here. A federal judge is now forcing the Justice Department to hurry up its response to a Freedom of Information Act request, one that zeroes in on why the Trump administration refused to release the Epstein files back in July. At the time, a DOJ FBI memo said there was no basis to disclose the materials. But the legal nonprofit Democracy Forward sued, asking to see internal records, including whether Attorney General Pam Bondi misled the public when she claimed Epstein's client list was sitting on her desk, ready for review. The group also wants to know whether the DOJ reversed course because of who appeared in the files, including President Trump's name. The federal judge, Tanya Chutkin, agreed to fast-track the request, calling it a matter of widespread and exceptional media interest, and saying it raises possible questions about the government's integrity. As of now, the DOJ has until December 19th to hand over the full set of the Epstein files. The Trump administration is rolling out new price cuts for 15 medications covered by Medicare, including some of the most popular weight loss drugs. The discounts come through the Medicare Drug Price Negotiation Program, a key piece of former President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act. The Trump administration says the new prices will save taxpayers $12 billion and cut out-of-pocket costs for Medicare enrollees by $685 million. Under the plan, Ozempic and Wegovy, also used to treat type 2 diabetes, would drop from $959 for a 30-day supply to $274. The cuts also slash the cost of 4 cancer drugs by thousands of dollars each and reduce prices for 2 other diabetes medications down to double-digit costs. But these new prices won't kick in until 2027. You can see the full list of affected drugs right now on our website, san.com. Finally this morning, Hawaii's Kilauea volcano is putting on another show, and this one is a stunner. Kilauea shot fountains of lava more than 400 feet into the air on Tuesday. Look at that. Wow. The 37th outburst since this current eruption began almost a year ago. Some of this year's fountains have been massive. Get this, one earlier this month soared over 1,000 feet, towering like a volcanic skyscraper. Hawaii's Volcanoes National Park says it will host a public geology talk on December 23rd to mark 1 year of this remarkable, still ongoing eruption. I mean, wouldn't you like to be there to learn and take notes, to learn more? I would. All right, by the way, in case you haven't noticed, we are the fastest, fairest few minutes in news. So tell your friends about us, watch us at san.com or on the app, or stream us on Spotify. Those are your unbiased updates for this Wednesday. Kara Rucker will be in for me tomorrow. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, have a great day and a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving.